Hello, hello, and welcome. Tonight, I want to show you all of my stationery and postcards. I hope this is all of my stationery. The reason for this video is that I'm trying to organize my stationery, and I figured I'd show it all to you. Earlier this week, I was trying to write a letter to a friend for his birthday, and I realized I couldn't find the card I was certain that I had, and this irked me. So now I am going to organize all of my stationery and postcards. Oh, there's one other goal. The goal is I purchased 2 picture frames that were the wrong size, and I realized a postcard would fit in the picture frame, and I like to frame postcards. More often I frame postcards that I received, but I do have some really pretty ones that I have purchased for myself. So here I have one pile. I actually have 2 more piles next to that. I'm going to choose 2 postcards. I think maybe you can help me if you have a strong opinion. And by the end of this, I will hopefully have everything organized. If you are a long-term fan, hi, you've probably seen a lot of this stationery before. I think there's only a couple new things in here. If you are new, welcome. I hope you like what I have. Though I will say, the nature of postcards and stationery is, when I first purchase them, I often save my favorite ones for myself, and then I send out the next best ones, or often now I'll get duplicates of my favorites because I know myself, and then I won't send the ones I like the least, which means a lot of these that are older, all the ones from Asia, for example, they're going to be a combination of probably mostly my least favorite postcards from a batch that I bought, and that's the nature of it. So let's get started. You can see this top one here. It's not a postcard. This was a set, I think, of 5 postcards. I had a couple sets like this, and this one is essentially Chinese communist propaganda. So good study, day up is a very literal translation. It's been a long time since I've spoken Chinese, although I've been practicing a little bit lately. Oh, and the postcards in here aren't from that set. That's funny. Okay. So this is not from that set. It is from China. I believe it's from Datong. Am I right? Oh, my Chinese has gotten so bad that I'm not sure that's true. I think this is Luoyang. I went to Luoyang by myself. There were Buddhist grottos there. They weren't as good, or they weren't as preserved as the ones in Datong. And this card's gotten a little beaten up. It's a little bit dirty. I bought this, I think I was in Nanjing, and it was another trip I took by myself, different from the Luoyang trip. And there were these little shops, little coffee shops along this really scenic route. So no, it wouldn't be Nanjing. It would be next to Nanjing, which would be, I think, Suzhou. And there were these little rivers going through the town, and all these coffee shops were just filled with postcards. And the trend of the day was to buy a postcard, fill it out, send it to yourself, and or address it to yourself and give it to the coffee shop, and the shop would then send it like a year later. I think you could choose the year. I didn't do this because I wasn't sure where I would be living a year later, but I did buy a lot of really funny postcards. Most of them were not about the place like this one. So this postcard has 2 eyes and just a little frowny face, and then it's hard to read because it's a peach background, but it says here in white, all you need is love. And traveling alone in southern China, this just struck me as cute and funny and very appropriate for how I was feeling. So that is what's in here. I guess I must have sent the rest of these sort of communist propaganda postcards. I would have purchased this pack probably in Pingyao, which is an old city in Shanxi province. It's actually where paper money was invented. So I probably put these postcards in here because they're all from China. This one's never lost because it's so long. I can always see it sticking out from my little stationery holder. Actually, I'll show that to you. I bought this for like $2. It's made of wood, and it's heavy enough that it might be plastic, actually, touching it now. It looks like wood, but no, it's definitely plastic. Pretty heavy though, and it's got these, there's stuff in there you can see. These little things here, those are letters for a letterboard that I have. So, took out everything, but in the back I put my stickers and my really tall things. This is a laser pointer. Here are my stamps. So this one I bought in Korea, made in Korea, and would have been in Seoul probably. Everything was so expensive there. All the paper products were so cute. I could have bankrupted myself. I really saved this one, even though it probably spoke to me more when I was younger. It's a panda with 2 fluffy ears, and it says, "I love you." So, that's just cute. Put it here. China postcards. And this is stationery, not a postcard, so we'll put it here. This was a more recent purchase, probably within the last year. And I got it at a local shop. I have a second one that's kind of similar. It's a scientific drawing of, on this one, flowers, and here we have citrus. Let's see, this one looks like a dandelion to me, right? Because here's the dandelion, or are these 2 different flowers? This is a foxglove. My neighbor has lots of them. And I feel like I just looked up what this one is called, but I can't remember. And then here we have lemons and oranges and clementines and this weird lemon. Yeah. So These are really cute. I had other ones, one that was succulents, and another one that was my favorite that I sent to a friend, and that one was cheese. So it was categorizing like 20 different cheeses. I'll go here. Okay, so this postcard definitely stayed. This, I think, was on my wall for a bit before I started framing things and trying to make stuff look less like a college dorm room. It's from Kathmandu, Durbar Square. And forgive me, I don't speak the language. I'm sure that is not the correct pronunciation. But that's, of course, in Nepal. And I went to Nepal years ago. It was a dream of mine to visit Nepal, and it was wonderful. It's a really beautiful country, and I had a wonderful time. So it was nice to have this on my wall for a bit. So this one is from Cambodia, and yeah, so this wouldn't be one of my favorites. It doesn't show, I think having people on a postcard is a little bit weird. Like, does that man know that he's on a postcard? Does someone use his image without his permission? I have these questions. It always makes me a little uncomfortable. So that's why this one never got sent out, but it was part of a pack of like 20 postcards. This one is Tulum, Mexico. That's more recent. Zona Arqueológica. Tulum is beautiful, as you can see from this picture. It's got this gorgeous water, these white sand beaches, and then these really cool ruins from the Mayas that were covered in iguanas. It was a really nice visit, and it's so close to the beach. We just went straight after and had frozen drinks, and it was just an incredible time. So this one is from Japan. It's still in its plastic writing. Asakusa Kanon Temple. So I think Asakusa, I'm pretty sure, is in Tokyo. If I remember, it was years ago. But I went to a temple in Tokyo that could have been called that. I liked the style. It's really pretty. This one is a contender for being put in a frame, I think. I think I want to frame one that's not a picture but is instead a drawing. So I'm going to put this over here so we can consider this later. Okay, this is also from Japan. This was a free postcard from the what's it called? It wasn't an onsen, it was a hotel, but the Japanese word, a ryokan? Is that the word? Oh, it's been so long since I knew any Japanese at all. It was very cool. We slept on, mats on the floor, and we had those tables by the floor, and they made us full Japanese breakfast. It was a very cool experience. It had, a little courtyard inside. It was very neat. That was a dream of mine. Okay, again, we're in Japan here. This is, Asakusa Temple, Tokyo. So I remembered something. That's nice. Okay. This one is Macau, but I did not purchase this postcard in Macau. I don't think I purchased any postcards in Macau. This would have been purchased in Suzhou in China with that other funny one, with the all you need is love postcard. And you can see this one matches, it's Rome. I have been to both of these places, but it is not where I purchased these postcards. But I thought they were cute. If we're gonna organize this though, let's see. Because this is gonna be Cambodia again. This is Angkor Wat, which is in Siem Reap, and it's incredibly impressive. I highly recommend visiting. Cambodia was one of my favorite trips. And Angkor Wat was very, very cool. Very much worth seeing. And the food there is really good. I don't know of any Cambodian restaurants around here. I've never been to one outside of Cambodia, but I really liked the food that I had there. And this is another one. And you can see in these ruins there's a huge tree whose roots are coming out, and it's kind of tearing apart the stone ruins, and you can see that all over the ruins, and it's incredible. It's so beautiful. It's just really impressive. So let's see, there was another Cambodia postcard here. Let's keep them together. Why are these in one group? Let's find out. So I love this. This is the Coast Redwoods, world's tallest trees, the Muir Woods National Monument. And this is this old style of graphics. I think these were old posters and promotional material from back in the day. Let's see if it tells me anything. Lantern Press original poster. So this one would be a contender for a picture frame, except that I actually have a bigger version of a slightly different picture that I must have bought at the same time, and it's already framed and up on my wall. So this one will not be framed. This one, I bought this in Atlanta. And I don't know exactly what's going on in this picture. It looks like a door in a door in a door. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. So it's the Doors of Decatur. Photo montage by Sophia Rose said, "This postcard is one in a series developed by the city of Decatur, Georgia, and the Decatur Arts Alliance to present creative perspectives of our city." I love doors. It's such a weird thing to say, but when I see a creative door or just a really beautiful door, it makes me really happy. So this postcard seemed right for me to buy. I think these must be my American postcards, and that's why they're together. This one I got also in Atlanta at the Art Institute. That's not what it's called there. It's the High Art Museum. Let's see. It's from a cabinet. Yeah, the High Museum of Art, Atlanta. From the Herder Brothers, New York. Ebonized cherry, marquetry of various woods. I just think this is so pretty. I'm really into it. This one is the Hollywood Bowl. It's again sort of an old-timey style, mostly black, big Hollywood written across it. I've never actually been to the Hollywood Bowl for anything, but I did go to Hollywood, so I would have purchased this in a bookstore there. Same with this one. So, a little guy wearing plaid pants and a striped shirt, smoking a cigarette in a beret, filming, and it says, "Welcome to Hollywood" over the film. Now we have pictures of San Francisco. I've been to San Francisco a number of times now, actually, which has been very nice. I've had wonderful days there. Although my friends took me to the bridge, and that's where I learned that I am afraid of bridges. They move in the wind, and I did didn't go on. I stood to the side and watched them. Ghirardelli. There it is, yeah, that's the bridge. And I couldn't do it. And it was very foggy that day. I did ride the trolley though. I had like one perfect day in San Francisco, riding the trolley and seeing the bridge, and we went to a musical. We saw Wicked. It was all very, very special. Okay, so I guess this little bag here are my American postcards. And we'll be adding to it because I know of some that are not in here. I had this idea at the beginning of being home more often that I would increase my correspondence, but I feel like there hasn't been as much to say. Okay, this is one I didn't much care about. That was from Italy. I think I got this one for free. I'm not really sure there's much value to it. I mean, of all things in Italy, it's just a pool. We're back in Cambodia. So back in Angkor Wat. Again, this temple is just incredible. More images. Yeah, and people still do go to pray there because it is a temple. It is ruins, but it is still a temple. And you can see the really impressive carvings. I think, yeah, I got my own picture of this, but I really do like this postcard. I think this one was on my wall, or one like it was on my wall for a bit, because these carvings are so cool. And this one I think was also on my wall. Taprom Temple. The roots of these trees are just so impressive and beautiful. So the Cambodia pictures are over here. Okay. Now this little guy, I would have gotten, in Japan. I would have thought Korea. But I bought this in Japan, and it's these little snakes, green and blue and pink, and it's so cute. And it's just these tiny little envelopes. I have no idea what I would use them for, but I love them, so I have them. So I used to have a set. Oh, this looks dirty. Is it moldy? Do we think that's mold? You should tell me if it's mold. I'll be really sad. These fish cards, I had a set, maybe of 10 of them. They're hand painted. So this is painted. I bought it in Nepal, and they were some of my favorites I've sent out. I think this must be my last one. I just loved them so much. But I don't know if it's moldy. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, and these are also hand painted. These are elephants, as you can see. These were also purchased in Nepal. The paper is also very clearly handmade. The quality of these is not as high. This is more of a craft project, right? But I thought the elephant was very charming. I liked the colors, and this shop, it was just a little shop. It's clearly a local project, so I enjoyed buying these paper products, and I've sent out most of these as well. I'm not sure how many I had to begin with, but it was at least 5, possibly 10. Okay, and here we have assorted envelopes. Those two might go with the elephants. these are from a different set. I have no idea what this set is from. I found it among my things, and it's this sort of handmade thick paper, and then the envelopes have been sewn into, embroidered with this pattern of little flowers. You can see there's a dog hair on here, like there is on everything in my home, and different colors. I've sent out a few of these. They're a bit faded now. When I found them among my things, they were pretty old already. But there's purple, sort of lavender, blue, green, and a sort of off-white. So similarly, I found this set of floral cards. I think I must have used most of them. I used a lot of them. There were different ones. This one is peonies. I used a lot of them writing thank you notes to people my parents' age. This is a life hack, friends. People in their 60s and older, some in their 50s too, they get very, very excited if you send them a handwritten thank you note. Yeah, I like writing notes, so it's nothing to me, and I have this pretty stationery, but it's something you might think about. For example, when I stay with my friend's parents, which I haven't done too recently, but I have in the past, or sometimes when I get a gift from my stepmother, I'll send them a thank you note, and they love that. So that's something to add to your little knowledge box. This was my first stationery, I think. I think I got this when I was like in first grade. And so I've kept this last one. It's this really thin paper. Any good child friends? Yeah, someone must have gotten this for me, probably my mother. And it's two frogs across from each other with a heart. And so I've just it's so cute. It's so funny. So I just kept this. This is an envelope that looks a little dirty. Oh, there's another one. Okay, I have a few of these. Good. Well, then I'm not surprised the envelope doesn't look very clean. This thing is old. These are more envelopes. Side. Oh, this one. This is another sort of old poster for the national parks. In this case, it's Haleakala in Hawaii. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, this one is getting a picture frame. This is so beautiful. The blue, the yellow, the orange. These, I've already forgot the name of these plants. Are they silver swords or something like that? But being, reflecting the sunset. This is incredible. So this is the Federal Art Project. Printed over 2 million posters and 35,000 different designs to stir the public's imagination for education, theater, health, safety, and travel. Due to their fragile nature, only 2,000 posters have survived. Well, this is incredible, and I'm going to be framing it. Okay. So, and that one would be considered American, except it's going in a frame, so we're not putting it in a little packet. These are American. These are Chicago. So here's the lake and Lakeshore Drive and Lake Michigan, and Hancock Building. This is a wintry scene. This is the water tower off of Michigan Avenue. The Windy City, Chicago. This is a fanciful interpretation of Chicago that is not very true to geography. This theater is not really close to the lake at all. The bean is definitely not in the lake, and neither is this fountain. Navy Pier is here, though. Although Navy Pier, I think, is a bit closer to the Hancock Building. I'm also wondering at which angle we're seeing this, because you would think that north would be this way and south would be that way, but all the buildings are facing wrong. This should be there, and I don't know. Anyway, I would also consider framing this one, although it looks bigger actually than the dimensions that I have. And this is nice with the lake, so smooth. So yeah, here's the Sears Tower, and over here is the Hancock. Okay, so these will go. If they fit, oh, they don't fit. Yeah, these are really big postcards. Maybe they'll fit. I make things bigger in the Midwest. These will fit. I spent a day, I went to the Art Museum, the Art Institute, and Millennium Park, and I think I bought these at Millennium Park. What do we have here? Envelopes. More envelopes. Envelope. Do you go here? No. Okay. And oh yeah, this would have been free paper that I stole from a hotel. Or a tempura restaurant. So, Kyoto Yoshikawa Inn. I thought it was cute though, this little logo they have. Okay, these two cards I lost almost immediately upon purchasing them, which is frustrating because I wanted to send this one off. But it says, "Happy birthday, you gorgeous beast," and there is this beautiful zebra that is drawn with a background sort of pink and blue. Let's see. The Found, I guess, is the company that made it. Yeah, I just thought this was really, really cute. I like the zebra. I like the colors. I like the message. The inside is blank. And I bought this one at the same time from the same store, the local store. And it says, "It's your birthday," with this cute little white snake who's got little black marks on him. He's a rattlesnake. He's got a rattler. So these will go here. And I have more cards now, even more. I think I showed you this one just recently. This I got off of Redbubble, though I can't recommend Redbubble as a service. This art is beautiful. I have no complaints about this beautiful card. It is a whale skeleton, and then it's got these clouds in the background. And it made me think of a friend of mine who collects skeletons of animals. And I think they would really like this card. same artist made this one, and these are little squid with a background of sort of a starry sky, so squid in space. They also made this one. This one I got more for myself. Maybe I'll send it someday. I could also put this in a picture frame because I love whales. They're so beautiful. These look to be blue whales. When I was young, I went to Hawaii with my family, and in the winter in Hawaii, the humpback whales are there, and they're playing and having a good time, and they like to breach, so they jump all the way out of the water, and it's incredible and powerful and amazing how an animal that big can propel itself straight out of the water. My mother loved watching for whales. She loved seeing them, and I asked her about it once, why she loved them so much, and it's pretty much what I just said. Such a huge animal, and the absolute power they have getting out of the water like that. It's just incredible. And so I liked this because it's a whale with its mother, and it made me think of her. This one is a sperm whale and a giant squid, and I love this. So sperm whales and giant squid are known to have underwater battles because sperm whales will have scars like you see here, and they'll have big sucker marks. If you go to the Natural History Museum in New York City, they have a big model of a sperm whale and a squid fighting each other. It's very cool. So I've always thought that was incredible. Sometimes I think about all the action that's happening in the ocean that's so far below. Sperm whales can dive really, really deep. Because, we haven't seen many giant squid, on the shore in pictures by the surface where we live. So we have seen some now, but I think when I was young, we'd never seen a live one before. But I think maybe 10 years ago, we got some footage, and I'm not sure since then. I loved this picture so much that I got a bigger version that's framed in my room. Then I have this one, and I forget what these fish are called. I call them dinner plate fish. I didn't like this one quite as much, which is why I still have 2 of them. I think I got 2 or 3 of all the other ones, and I've already sent off most of them because they're so pretty. But I still have 2 of these because they aren't my favorite. I don't know, I might frame this one. These have envelopes for them. Let's see. Here they are. Yeah, just plain brown envelopes. Oh, but I was gonna say, the reason I don't recommend Redbubble is... Oh, this one's fine. Here's another one. Because of these 2, they misprinted 2 of the cards, and I didn't open it for a while, so I missed my window of when I could report it and get it fixed. And I was just really disappointed when I ordered like 15 cards. I think that 2 of them were misprinted so badly. Because yeah, this is supposed to be another whale with a baby, and this was kind of a cool forest scene that I thought thought a friend would like, but now I'm not really sure what to do with them. This one, I guess I could probably cut it and it wouldn't look so weird, but this one really isn't salvageable, which is just a shame. So I'm not a big fan of Redbubble. Okay, I know there's still more. So this is a card, and it is from a Haleakala National Park, Maui, Hawaii. The large bowl-shaped depression of Haleakala volcano is not a true crater, but rather an erosional valley, carved out by water and ice and sculpted by wind over tens of thousands of years. About a dozen small cinder cones dot this valley. They were formed as volcanic debris built up around vents. Cinder cones. These must be the cinder cones. And here's the silver sword. I think that might just be grass, actually. But those plants are only found in Hawaii, maybe only at Haleakala, which is pretty cool. And this one should have an envelope attached to it. Haleakala was incredible. This landscape, it doesn't look like Earth to me. You know, it looks like Mars. But of course the clouds in the background that are below you because you're so high up. It's very, very beautiful. I had a really wonderful day there. These are postcards. I bought these at a scientific conference. It goes like this. Let's see. So this is a weird postcard, to be honest. This is a picture of a cross stitch of neurons. So this one is going to be a cortex, I think. It looks like the cells are going out. It looks to me like development. It could be wrong. It could just be a Golgi stain, to be honest, with their apical dendrites coming out. Let's see. This one I'm actually less familiar with. So while I am a neuroscientist by training, I focused on the spinal cord and the peripheral nerve system. And this to me looks probably not human, for one thing. Like, I'm not sure which part of the brain this is. It could be the hippocampus, but it looks weird. Does this say? No. Interesting. And then this one is different kinds of neurons, it looks like. This one's really cute. I couldn't tell you what kinds they are just from these pictures. But I'm pretty sure that's what they're trying to get across here. This one looks like a pyramidal cell. This looks so familiar to me. Is this like a retinal cell? I'm not sure. Yeah, they should have a little explanation on the back. I wonder if they're looking at Ramon Hall's work and trying to replicate it with cross stitch. Anyway, so at these scientific conferences, it's funny, they'll always have like 6 artists, and the conference is huge. It's got like 30,000 people attending, and then 6 little artist booths. But I like to support artists and buy stuff, so I also bought some stickers from these people. These postcards are big, they won't fit in my American postcard bag. Okay, speaking of American postcards, here are more Hawaiian postcards. So this one has a woman very soft expression on her face. And a flower behind her ear, more flowers, and an island and a sailboat behind her. This one is really brightly colored. It's got the islands of Hawaii sort of in the air here, and then a scene of a beach with tropical Hawaiian flowers. This one again is mainly this big red flower here, and then it says Hawaii in bamboo for some reason, because bamboo is not Hawaiian. This one, I just loved the colors of it. It's you know, pink sunset and this dark mountainy region, the palm trees coming up and the fruit trees, and these two women wearing pink with flowers in their hair, and the blue ocean. I thought it was so pretty. I'm a little torn on these postcards because they're posters for Fly Hawaiian Air, and I learned more about the history of travel to Hawaii from the mainland, and the history, unsurprisingly, is not pretty. Not as pretty as that postcard. So, although I love these postcards, I don't think I'm going to frame them because they just have a disappointing history. But look at this turtle. Isn't he cool? Okay, these are going to go in my American sack. Oh, we're getting to the end. So this is a card, and I meant to send it to my father. I guess I'll send it for his birthday this year. This was also purchased at Haleakala in Hawaii and Maui, and it's these birds with this, oh, I hope I'm remembering what this is called. If it's not a silver sword, I'll feel really bad. But this is a bird that's local to Haleakala. It's called the uau. It's a Pacific seabird that feeds on small fish, squid, and planktonic crustaceans. Human exploitation and predation by introduced species such as dogs, cats, and mongoose wiped out almost the entire Hawaii population in the 1930s. Removal of non-native species and recent protection of habitat, especially nest sites, have helped improve breeding success in Haleakala. My dad loves birds, and he loves Hawaii, I think. So I thought he would like this card. This one. I have another postcard that is like this one, that is framed on my wall. So this is why this one is not going to be framed. This postcard, that is not a postcard. This postcard I got, what was that place called? Anza Borrega, right? Anza Borrego. So this is in California. I went camping in the desert in November a couple years ago, more than a couple, and it was beautiful. I saw 7 shooting stars. I saw wild goats climbing a little mountain, and it was just a wonderful experience. Oh man, I would love to do this again. I was with really good friends, and we had just a wonderful time hiking around. I never thought too much about the desert as being a truly beautiful place, but it was. And I saw incredible flowers. So I have really fond memories of that time, which is why I probably haven't sent this postcard. more Haleakala cards. Again, doesn't this just look like Mars? But here in the background you can see another island. Kalahaku moods. Early morning moods from Kalahaku Overlook reveal cinder cones of the summit valley of Haleakala, while Mauna Loa, 13,677 feet tall, can be seen about 100 miles away on the Big Island of Hawaii. So Mauna Loa is the volcano on the Big Island. And these are the cinder cones. And this one. I wasn't as impressed with this one, but these all came in a set. But again, this is on Haleakala. You can see this steep decline down to the beach and the ocean. I mean, we're so high, we're above the clouds, right? You can see a cloud rolling over here, and the ocean is right there. In the background, you can see, I think, Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. Let's see if the back tells us. Near Paliku Campground and Cabin, one can see the broad expanse of the Kaupo Gap, while about 90 miles away, the winter snow-capped peaks of Mauna Kea, 13,796 feet, and Mauna Loa, right, 13,677 feet on the Big Island of Hawaii, rise majestically. So yeah, there's snow on top. Oh, it would be very nice to be here right now. We're almost done. My last stationery are all sets that I bought from Target. So these are turquoise. They have 2 pink flowers, 2 white flowers, and these sprigs of orange and white flowers. And the center is a bird. These I just think are cute. They're useful if you need a card for any occasion. They're pretty. They make good thank you notes. I can't remember why I bought them. It might have just been because they were pretty and I liked them. That's generally a good enough reason for me when it comes to stationery. As you might be able to tell, I don't have, well, I don't want to say it's not self-control, but I don't really stop myself from buying stationery when I want it. So this one I've had a bit longer. I purchased this when I moved years ago, and I gave these to my friends for thanking me, or for helping me move. I think I took them out, and I think I also gave them plants, like babies from my house plants. But the thank you is this really thin writing font, and it has flowers in it and then kind of bursting out from the dark font. And I thought that was cute. And I have this one. And again, I think I just bought this because it's pretty. It's a black card with flowers on it. Pink flowers, blue, black, white with a little pink, some leaves. I just liked the style, and I sent cards a lot. But I think I'm gonna have to send a lot more cards before I purchase any more. Which, it's not that it's a shame, it's just that I like buying cards. I guess I'm not doing too much shopping these days. Okay, I've got my Asian postcards here. This is my last American postcard here. And these were the competitors for being framed. So I have these two blue whales. This one, which is not a competitor, it already won. Or Japan. What do you think? I don't know. I might go with the whale. I think I might have a Japan one framed already. I'll have to look. Although I'm not sure where I'd put this one. Choices. Okay. And here I have all the cards. No, I have half of the cards. Well, this half will go back here. No, I don't think they'll fit. Well, that's for a different video. Me playing Tetris with my little stationery holder. For now, this was nearly an hour of going through my stationery, so I hope you are fast asleep. Good night.